Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines. All right, we don't have any guests this week, but we're going to do our regular Wednesday podcast, and we're probably going to go over some news today. However, Mike apparently has some things he wants to talk about first, so we'll go there. Mike, over to you.
Okay, this is from the Congressional Record, Appendix PP, A34-A35, Current Communist Goals. This was a discussion that took place in 1963. So let's see how accurate they were. U.S. acceptance of coexistence as only alternative to atomic war.
Yeah, bullshit, but yeah.
U.S. willingness to capitulate in preference to engaging in atomic war. Develop the illusion that total disarmament, now these are the communist goals, total disarmament by the United States would be a demonstration of moral strength.
Yeah, they've been trying that for decades.
Permit free trade between all nations, regardless of communist affiliation and regardless of whether or not items could be used for war.
Of course.
They were talking about this in 1963.
Yeah, everything's going according to plan.
Extension of long-term loans to Russia and Soviet satellites. Provide American aid to all nations, regardless of communist domination. Domination.
Yeah.
D-O-M-I-N-A. Yeah, domination.
Yeah.
It just doesn't read right as far as I'm concerned. Grant reconciliation of Red China. Admission of Red China to the UN.
Well, that was done a long time ago.
Yeah, 1963, that's what they thought about. They did
No, that's when they were talking about it, but they had it planned even longer than that. But go ahead.
Well, this is a declaration made by a Mr. At Mrs. Norman's request. This is a Mr. Herlong. That spoke
How do you
this
spell
stuff.
his name?
Herlong. Easy to spell.
Okay, sounds
Set
just
up
like it's
East and West Germany as separate states in spite of Khrushchev's promise in 1955 to settle the German question by free election under supervision of the UN. You know, it's interesting. I just realized the UN, which is the initials, is also the prefix for anything that is in opposition of the organization.
That's even better than my nickname for it, which is the useless nations.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Prolong the conferences to ban atomic tests because the United States has agreed to suspend tests as long as negotiations are in progress. So never stop them. Allow the Soviet satellites individual representation in the United Nations. So basically, all your lackeys get to say something.
Yeah, all their lackeys.
Let me skip a couple of these because some of these are just continue giving Russia access to the U.S. Patent Office. Wow.
Oh, yeah, so they can steal our patents or ideas.
Yes. Get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current.
Well, they've done that.
Soften
They've
the
done
curriculum.
that. They started with the universities, went down to high schools. Now they're infiltrating the elementary schools. Did you see those kids that they took out on a protest the other day? And some of them almost got hit by a car that was going awfully close to the curb and real fast.
Well, the interesting thing was we're getting textbooks from Mexico, which are anti-American.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Gain control of all student newspapers.
They got that.
You're going to like this one. Use student riots to format public protests against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. Infiltrate the press. Get control of book review, assignments, editorials, etc., etc. I got
Oh,
more.
that was a big success for them.
I mean, these are all things that are happening right now. Gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. Bingo! Continue
Yep.
discrediting American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to eliminate all good sculpture from parks and buildings, substitute shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms. Control
Which they've
art.
done. I mean, you see some of these sculptures they put up, they're ridiculous. They say it's abstract art. It's not. It's bullshit.
Here's another one. Eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press.
Yeah, until
That
they
sounds
have
familiar.
control, then they reverse it.
Break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. Oh, infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religious revealed religion with social religion.
Oh, they've done that, especially when those religions that have put up female pastors lately.
Right.
That are
Eliminate
all
prayer.
like blue-haired Karens. What?
Eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in schools on the ground that it violates the principle of separation of church and state. 1963.
Yeah.
Okay. Discredit the American Constitution by calling it inaccurate, old-fashioned, out of step. Discredit
They've
the
been doing that
American
for
founding
years.
fathers. Present them as selfish aristocrats who had no concern for the common man.
Yeah, right.
Belittle
That's
all
why they
forms
built the
of
greatest
American
country on
culture.
earth.
Support any socialist movement to give centralized control over any part of the culture. Eliminate all laws of procedures which interfere with the operation of the communist apparatus. Eliminate the House Committee of Un-American Activities. Discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. Infiltrate and gain control of more unions. Infiltrate and gain control of big business. Transfer some of the powers of arrest from police to social agencies. Wow.
Oh yeah, Mondani.
Yep. Dummy. Yep. Dominate the psychiatric profession and use mental health laws as a means of gaining control over those who oppose communist goals. Discredit the family as an institution. Emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. Create the impression that violence and insurrection are legitimate aspects of American tradition that students and special interest groups should raise up and use to solve economic, political, and social issues. Overthrow all colonial governments before native populations are ready for self-government. I guess that's a worldwide thing. Internationalize the Panama Canal. Last one. Repeal the Connolly Reservation of the United States cannot prevent the word court from seizing jurisdiction. Okay, I can't read this one.
Fuck the world court.
Yes, I'd rather not, but okay. So anyway, all this was on Congressional Record Appendix PP A34-A35, Current Communist Goals, which was established on Thursday, January the 10th, 1963. Mr. Herlong, Mr. Speaker, Miss Patricia Nordman, blah, 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 that is a ardent, okay. I can't read the rest of it. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, there you go. And that was given to me by the same person who was good enough to introduce us to Scott Janney. So that was Wendy, who is
the librarian.
She's great, and she gave me this. she wanted me to put it on the podcast, and because I have no will of my own and I have no imagination whatsoever, I didn't have anything else to offer today. So I figured, why not impose upon our listeners? But I didn't even look at this. I
It's
read it.
not important. That's a great revelation, and it's something that should open the eyes of anyone who still thinks critically. And you can see clearly that they've been following this agenda for decades now, and many of them have already been accomplished. Others are still in the process of. They're trying to shove it down our throats. And
Right.
communism is evil, and the people behind communism are even more evil than what they're pushing.
Don't confuse communism for social reform.
Well, they want you to confuse it because it sounds better if they say it's social reform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing is
they use the language. They use language to make everything look seem flowery and nice.
I have a great idea. Just came to me right now. Since we were searching for an idea, what if we talk about our favorite patriotic movies?
Patriotic movies?
I'll give you the first one, and you see where I'm going with this. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Very good movie. Old black and white. A lot of young people won't watch it just because it's black and white, but it's a very good film. Unfortunately, it is. Unfortunately, it's anti-Republican because the Republicans are the party that they make look bad. But and what's his face? Oh my God, who's the actor? Jimmy Stewart was not. Well, later in life, at least, he was a Republican, or a conservative anyway. But no, that's a great picture. Another one, even though it's loosely based on historical fact, and they play a lot with the facts. The Patriot by Mel Gibson. They mixed in
I thought that was made up when I first saw it because it seemed like an impossible story, but then I found out that there was a lot of historical fact with it.
Yes, I think the church, the burning of the people in the church was real. I think. Also, his character is based on a couple of Revolutionary War heroes, including Marion Fox, who became known as the Swamp Fox. The British named him the Swamp Fox because he and his men would attack, run into the swamps, and the British couldn't find them.
Yep.
So what do we got? Patriot. Okay, wait, hold on, Mr. Smith. Let me mark these down for the show notes. Actually, okay. I don't have to. We don't need to mention them.
That's your call.
Patriot. Okay. What other one?
Actually, it's a musical. It's 1776.
So I've never seen it.
It's actually a lot of fun, and
I'm not a fan of musicals generally.
Establishment of the Declaration of the Independence. Very, very, very entertaining movie. The music is actually good. The main characters, of course, are Thomas Jefferson, etc., etc. All good stuff.
Right. Let's see. All right. Let me see. You caught me. You caught me without, by surprise here. So I have to think to come up with.
I know that's not a habit of yours, but we'll I think you should work it. I have faith in you.
That's all right. What was it? Midway.
Oh, such a good movie.
It is. It was very well made.
That was a great
Charlton
movie.
Heston, that one there, made in the 40s or 50s. They made it.
Fonda was in that too, right?
Henry Fonda played. I think he played Roosevelt's son, who died. During World War II. I don't know if it was at Midway or elsewhere.
Well, that was a hell of a movie.
Oh yeah.
And you might say any war movie that if you want to go that route, then let's go Gettysburg. That was a fantastic movie.
I don't remember if Gettysburg. Could you say it's patriotic or just
Well, if you're
historical?
going to use war movies, it is about. See, the thing is like um, the biggest problem with the present day people is they don't know why the Civil War was fought. They think it was about slavery. Now, slavery
Yeah.
was definitely an important issue, but the real reason was state rights. And to be honest with you, I think the
Yeah.
Union crossed the line when they stepped into Virginia with their troops first. I believe it was it Virginia or Maryland? I forget.
No,
But
no. South Carolina. South
South
Carolina.
right.
Fort
So
Sumter.
they basically stepped in with the troops, and then there was a disagreement. But yeah, um, I have another one right off the bat, and it's with Paul Giamatti. It's actually a series. Uh, it's about
John Adams.
yes, that is
John
a
Adams.
great series, and the person who plays Washington is amazing. And
I've never seen that one.
oh, I have a copy of it. I got lucky. I bumped into it. I got it for $3. I mean to watch it again, but I have other things I'm watching.
Right.
So anything
Let's see.
political?
Political. Well, you do. Well, no, I don't know how. Now, I was political. Parallax View is definitely political. I don't know how patriotic it is. So the people who were on the side of, oh yeah, the government is evil, at least at the time, they would say, yeah, it's patriotic. But the people who
here's one. How about the one with oh my God, Daniel Day-Lewis back in the 1700s?
Wait a minute, 1700s. You're talking about no, the oh my God, it was based on the famous book, right? The Last of the Mohicans.
Last of the Mohicans. I think
that's not quite.
Yeah, because
was he fighting for the United States? Was the United States? Was it and that time? What?
He was fighting for freedom, and he actually was declared basically an enemy by the Brits. So he was de facto fighting for America. But he there's some scenes in there, especially when he's talking to the woman he falls in love with, trying to explain the beauty of the country and why it was worth the risk. Beautiful stuff.
All right. Henry Fonda was in quite a few patriotic films. I'm trying to think of another one, though, but I can't offhand. Patton. Oh, well, yeah, that's a war film, but it's patriotic. But even though it's more of a paean to him, whatever you call it. How do you pronounce that? P-A-E, what is it? P-A-E-A-N. Paean?
I don't even know
how to pronounce it. What? It's like a tribute, kind of a tribute.
Homage.
Homage, okay. Yeah.
So there's that. So obviously, patriotic movies are not your shtick. So you want to go to a different subject?
No, I mean.
Oh, here's one. Here's one. This is truly a patriotic movie.
Oh, I got one. Go ahead.
Because it has all the elements confronting each other. Casablanca.
Even though he was not really fighting for the United States per se, he was fighting against the Nazis.
Well, I'm sorry, that works for me. But the thing is, he represented the man in the middle. Then you had the Frenchman, who was definitely the patriot, Ingrid Bergman, and
her husband.
So the thing is, he was in the middle.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. If we're talking patriotic, does it have to be patriotic USA based, or Or are we talking
Okay.
about patriots in general?
Let's see the whole thing. Go for the whole thing. What do you want?
In that case, you have to include Braveheart.
That is a great movie. That's a great movie. You know, and if we're going
And
to do
based on
Braveheart, we also have to include. uh Forget
Monty
about it.
Python?
I was going to make a joke.
No, who? What was the
Mad
joke? Go
Max.
ahead, tell us. What?
Uh, there was uh there was an interesting movie, which was Meet John Doe, which is a strange little movie where they get this bum.
Yes, Gary Cooper and oh my God, I like her a lot. I can see her face and I can't remember her name. She was always in The Postman Always Rings Twice. She was great. She was kind of a dyke, but man, I always thought she was hot. What the hell was her name?
Betty Davis.
No, not Betty Davis. The other one. She was very assertive, very bossy, and very
The Mommy
not
Dearest.
so much. Well,
Mommy
kind of
Dearest
bossy,
girl?
but also very assertive, very confident. The hell was her name?
Katharine Hepburn.
No, not Catherine. African Queen.
He does blow up a German ship.
Yeah, and loses his ship while he's doing it. And he didn't
Yep.
want to do it either. She's the one who kind of convinced him.
Yeah, just like a woman. Yeah.
Okay,
there was
let's see.
You gotta, Midway was amazing. Here's another interesting one. This is really strange. This is like a sci-fi thing.
Oh no, it wasn't her. It was Lana Turner. I'm sorry. What?
A kind of sci-fi thing. It's the one where the Enterprise goes back in time.
Is that where Picard meets Kirk or something? I heard about it.
No,
I don't remember.
I mean the aircraft carrier.
Oh, yes. With Kirk Douglas.
Yes. No, Kirk Douglas is the captain of the ship.
The
And
something incident, the Baltimore incident.
No. It's not the Philadelphia.
Philadelphia incident. That's not the Philadelphia incident.
No. That was a weird. That was believed. There was a hush hush thing. There was a rumor that there was a thing called the Philadelphia experiment, and what it was Nikola Tesla, had this idea that if you made this coil as big as a battleship and put it in salt water,
you could move time.
You would create this heavy-duty static charge and distort space. And supposedly, the ship that was on came in and went out of existence.
For about 45 minutes,
came back,
hard time.
Some of the men were actually partially mixed with the steel of the ship. So
yes,
there were guys
when the atoms reorganized.
Yep.
Yeah. They made that film. Where did they go? They went back to World War II or something, right? To Pearl Harbor or something?
Yeah, they went back to World War II, and just before they were about to strike the Japanese, they got pulled back. It's a neat little story. It's a neat little story.
The film I was talking about, the actress I was talking about was also in Double Indemnity, Barbara Stanwyck. And I think that was the best version of Double Indemnity.
Well, first of all, I never thought of her as anything more than like she was a good looking woman, but she just didn't do it for me. I from that period,
like I say, she was probably too bossy for you or something.
No. I'm married to very dominant women. I mean, they didn't dominate me, which pissed them off. But the thing is that they did trick me a lot. I have to admit that they pulled the wool over my eyes more than once. But no, my biggest problem was that I wouldn't give in after a certain point, and that was they didn't like that. Neither of them did. Actually, all
Well,
three
by
of
the
them.
way, did I tell you I was at the cemetery this morning and I was putting some
Final
flowers
Countdown
down?
is the name of the movie.
What's that?
The Final Countdown.
Final Countdown. Yes. Okay.
So you
All
were
right.
saying
What was the Philadelphia incident? It was similar, though, right?
the Philadelphia
From the
experiment.
Philadelphia experiment. That was
That's the
a
one where I
similar
said
plot.
where the ship phased in and phased out of existence, but that I never saw the movie, but the
Me
but the
neither.
thing
I
is,
don't think.
that was the rumor. There was a lot of
Okay.
people who believed that happened, and that was in World War II.
Yes.
I mean,
44, 45, 45, I think. Or right after World War II, maybe.
I don't know. All I
Was
know
it?
is that when I was in the Air Force, people were still talking about it.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I was at the cemetery this morning, and I put some flowers down. And after a couple of minutes, I started walking away. I had my head down, and this lady comes up to me and she goes, "Excuse me, are you all right?" And I looked at her and I said, "You mean you could see me?" Boy, did she freak out.
Very good.
And that's the joke of the day, folks.
Yes, and
We always have to throw one in.
in the
Usually
words
have
of Jackie Gleason, "Hardy har har."
to. And away we go.
He was
It's more like, oh no, I like the way his wife on the series used to say it. Hardy har har.
I don't remember that.
It was much more sarcastic.
Oh, of course, yeah. She was very drab.
She was the only person in that series that got, I mean, aside from I think Gleason, who produced it, who got residuals. She made sure she put it in her contract that she would get paid every time it was show. And nobody knew it was going to be that great. Even Gleason didn't know because he only did 39 or 49 episodes, and that was it in 1 year. It did everything in 1 year, and it's still shown here and there. And she got Audrey Meadows. That was her name. She was smart enough to live the rest of her life getting royalties from the show.
Well, that's nice. That's a good investment.
Yeah, it's just like John Travolta did that with his films. He would take less upfront for his role, but he wanted a cut of the soundtrack. He owns a piece of every soundtrack of the movies he made. You know how much money he made off of Staying Alive and Saturday Night Fever?
No.
Millions. I think he had 10% of the soundtrack.
Okay.
And those films made a lot of money.
Well, the funny thing about the Bee Gees is they're really two separate groups. They were like pre-disco and then disco. Like
Disco Kings, yeah. Their career started in the 60s. I remember it was in the early or mid 60s that I first heard of them.
Right. And they still had that bizarre voice, and their songs were not that. Their songs weren't that great, but their lyrics were good,
and they were harmonious. They were harmonious.
Yeah.
Not Beach Boys level, not Beach Boys level, but they were. They what?
They were harmonious. So anyway, yeah, they were. The thing is, I didn't like their music. Okay, but
I always liked them.
Not especially their disco. I hated disco music because I was a rocker. I hated
disco too until they came out. Then I liked their music. Maybe it was because I was already a fan of theirs. I don't know.
The only good thing about disco is it was designed for dancing. But the thing is, come around 20 years ago, I would start hearing disco songs, and because that was my period, I started liking them because because it reminded me of the old days. So in reverie, I liked them.
I appreciate disco songs more today than I did at the time. I hated disco, but
they were actually rather
all of them. Some songs I like.
They're just dance beats with lyrics sometimes, if that.
I Will Survive is a great tune.
Dance. make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight. That's the song.
Yeah.
How about won't you ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell, ring-a-ling-a-ling. There's
Yeah,
no
I forget
lyrics.
her name.
There's
That
few
was the
words.
whole song.
That's the entire song.
Yeah, very repetitive and for like 10 minutes. So you can
Oh, yeah.
dance to it.
Yeah, pretty
But
tedious stuff. But
How Deep Is Your Love is probably my favorite Bee Gees disco song. And the ones that they did in the 60s and 70s, it's hard. I've got about 3 of them maybe that I really like. Yeah. Including
in general, there's none of them I run to. The music that I was listening to during that period was not disco, it was rock. So there was a lot of good rock back then. I was into Todd Rundgren. You don't hear any of his works.
I only know really Hello, It's Me, and there was one other one, but I can't even remember it right now.
Sometimes I don't know what to feel. And what about Nielsen?
Harry Nielsen.
Harry
The
Nielsen.
only one I know is from the film The Graduate. Everybody, no, not The Graduate. Ratso Rizzo. John Voight's first starring role.
Okay.
Everybody's talking about me. I don't hear words the same.
He's got a number of them. He did Coconuts.
No, he did The Lime and the Coconut. The Lime and the Coconut.
Song. He
But
did
wait, what was the name of that film?
What film?
With John Wright, where he was the gigolo from Texas.
You talking about Midnight Cowboy?
Midnight Cowboy, yes. Nielsen did
that.
Who?
Pacino.
No.
Yes, Pacino was
Dustin
also
Hoffman.
That's
Hoffman.
right. Hoffman. Hoffman was his pimp. That's right.
Oh, Hoffman was really, that was a great character, Ratso Rizzo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
actually, the first time you see Brad Pitt is in Thelma and Louise when he's like a cowboy.
They pick him up as a hitchhiker, right?
Yeah. I never saw the movie, but I know about that scene.
I know about. I didn't know it was him. I didn't know who he was at the time. I remember seeing the film though.
Well, there's no reason for you to. He was nothing at the time.
Yeah,
that was his big break. He was a heartthrob.
He still is. Shit, he's in his 50s, and he's still a damn good looking guy. Trying to think of.
Man. So there you go. Now, present day. They're removing 700 ICE agents from Minnesota because they promised that the criminals that are in jail that are also illegals are going to be given over to ICE. So that's the trade-off. We leave a little.
Go ahead.
What's the but?
But Mayor Fry has been saying already he's not going to comply. He started saying that a day after he talked to President Trump.
Well, is he the only one who has jails?
No. I mean, Waltz is in charge of the prisons in the state prisons and stuff. But Fry, Minneapolis is where you have a lot of illegal aliens and a lot, mainly Somalis, and these guys are committing all these crimes. He doesn't want to give them up. You know why?
So,
I think Mayor Fry is getting Frey or whatever his name is getting a piece of the action. That piece of shit, and I hope he winds up in jail and he dies there.
Well, I don't need to know what his backstory.
And I'm not saying right away. I hope he lives a long life, but in jail. What?
I don't need to know his backstory to know that his front story sucks.
He's a corrupt piece of shit. He's taken money from the Somalis. He's in on that whole fucking fraud. I'm sure of it.
Well,
he's the one who went up to George Floyd's coffin, St. George's coffin, and knelt down and made believe he was crying. Okay. Yeah. You know what I think? Because they gave him a gold coffin. Knowing now what we know about the fraud in Minnesota, I wouldn't be surprised if in the back room they took Floyd out of it, put him in a gold-colored box, buried him in that, and then they took the gold, melted it down, and distributed it.
That's an interesting idea.
I think that Frey would be up to that.
Well,
he's a piece of shit.
regardless of whether or not that happens in that city, the fact of the matter is that let's be happy about the victories that we're getting.
The what we're getting?
Victories.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's partially good news. It also should de-escalate things a bit, but also it gives the opposite side less of an argument to protest because their leadership, which they're following, has agreed to these terms. So, they have less of an argument. And the other thing is, I'm hoping that who's ever funding the insurgents, because they're not protesters, I hope they look at the situation and go, it's not worth it.
No, they just changed the venue. I'll tell you in a minute.
What?
You done? I'll tell you what they're doing now.
Go for it.
I saw a video this morning where one of the guys who's been reporting on these protests. All right. No, actually, it was a lady. She was saying, look, they're coming off the bus, and she was making believe she was supporting them. And they asked them, where are you from? Oh, San Francisco. Where are you from? New Jersey. So these people are being bussed into Boston to do something in Boston. Okay? So these are not organic protests as the left wants you to believe. This is bullshit. This is all organized, all paid for. Okay, they're bringing in all these sure, the protests are slowing down now in Minneapolis, so they're going to take those people who they paid to stir up Minneapolis. They're sending them to Boston right now, and they're coming to a city near you, folks. If you live in any Democrat city.
Well, the thing is that, okay, maybe they dump them in Boston, okay. But the thing is that it's upsetting their apple cart. They're reacting instead of making decisions, and I think that puts our side in a stronger position.
Yeah, hopefully it'll give us the edge come the midterms. By the way, I have a name for this episode already. All right.
What?
You know how you say that Nick, our buddy Nick Marcario, your former neighbor, likes it when it's just the two of us doing something, doing a podcast?
Mm-hmm.
I think we should title this one, "This One's for Nick."
Okay.
I think he'll appreciate that.
Sounds good to me. Let's see. I don't know. I think that's it for me. I'm out of steam.
Well, we've gone a little over a half hour. We're at 38 minutes right now.
That's good.
We can keep going with the news and go up to an hour, or we can keep this short and more people will watch it because it's shorter. So, sometimes when I have to choose, how much time I have to watch podcasts, I'll watch the ones that are shorter.
82 years old.
Because I don't have, an hour or hour and a half to watch a longer one. So, you want to cut it here?
Oh, boy. I tell you,
you're
man,
frozen.
Get these guys out of here.
Your picture's frozen. So, you know what? I'm going to make
a
unilateral decision.
He's not there by accident.
We're going to cut
I don't
it
know
here.
who's voting these people.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the latest episode of The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines. And we hope you enjoyed it.
Oh, 4th.
Mike has signed off because he was frozen.
And
he's probably going to try and come back in, but by the time he comes back in, I'll probably be off. Please rate and share the podcast with everyone you know. Give us a 5-star rating, and we'll see you next time on The View from Here, Behind Enemy Lines.